Hey, what is up? I promised you I would make a tutorial on a recent photograph I took with my phone in a beach in Puerto Rico. So let's get to it. The app of choice that I mostly use in reality is Lightroom. It's great. It's mostly free. There are some things that I will use in this tutorial that you do need a subscription for. But for the rest, in reality, you don't. But I will show you where the real magic is here. So here's the photograph, and this is right after editing. Could probably be better. I don't know. It's up to you. You edit your own way. But this is how it looked before, and this is how it looks after. Seems like magic, right? And this photo was actually taken with the iPhone camera app. So let's get to it. I'm just gonna reset the photo back to everything I did on it, to how it was before. That's just how I took it, exactly how I did it. There's no cropping or orientation done here. And basically, I'm just gonna do just tiny little bit adjustments here. First, what I wanna do first is where the magic's at, this healing tool right here. This healing tool will help me get rid of all of these distractions that are around the main subject of interest in this photograph that I don't really like there. I don't like usually adding stuff to the photograph that wasn't there originally, but I do like removing things that shouldn't be there or are just a distraction overall. And there's a couple things here. So I like to zoom in very close to the stuff I want to remove, and I choose the type of brush I want. As you can see, you can choose the size of the brush, and right now I'm adjusting the feathering. Right now I'm just gonna keep it at a maybe 85%, and I like to keep the brush as small as possible, and that's why I'm zooming in a lot, because the more you zoom in and then you zoom out, the less it's gonna be noticed, or it's gonna be less noticeable. Whoops. So let's zoom in as much as we can. Reduce the feather maybe to about, I don't know, 35%. The size, make it as small as we could, and we're just gonna paint with our fingers along where we want to remove the person. And that is almost perfect. Look at that. You can't even tell that this guy was there. Let's move to the other guy and do the same. Using the healing tool. In Photoshop it would be better. In Photoshop you would use the clone stamp, or you can also use the healing tool in Photoshop. But Photoshop is going to be way more powerful for way bigger files, and it's actually pretty impressive what you can do with such a small file here. There we go. Like if he wasn't there. Alright, we have another guy here. Let's use another healing tool. Same thing. Over him. Boom. This guy is gone. Has to be smaller. Has to be way smaller, so that it grabs. There we go. There we go. Alright, now that that's done, I like to come here and work on the light and exposures. So I'm just gonna increase the exposure just a tiny bit. I don't think I want that much. I like the effect just how it is. I push down on the highlights just to expose a little bit more of the clouds. Shadows are fine, but I actually like the shadow on his body, because that I just really like how it looks. And then add some white and reduce the black just to add some contrast. Now, one of my favorite tools is this curve tool. And what you do, if you grab, you put points in this line, and basically what they do when you move this curve, you have the blacks to the left and you have the whites to the right, and the highlights. So you have whites, highlights, midtones, shadows, and blacks. And if you push the blacks all the way up, you're basically removing all the blacks from your picture, and hence it ends up being all white. If you do that to the other side, you keep reducing the blacks, it's just gonna be all blacks. So you can do a lot of different styles with this. I'm just gonna keep it how it is because I like the contrast it has. But to add more contrast, I'm gonna just add a point here and around the shadows, and a point here around the highlights. And I'm gonna push on the highlights just a little bit, and then push down on the shadows just a bit, just to create more contrast in the image. See, maybe I can add a point here just to keep it there in place. There we go. And then if you want to add some cinematic look to it, you just push up here. But I'm gonna keep it like that. So this is what we had. This is what we have so far now. Pretty cool, huh? So, all right. And you can do other things with this, with color and stuff like that. You can add your own style with the levels and color curves. But I'm just gonna keep the edit solely on the lights, shadows. All right, so color, the only thing I'm gonna do here, and you can do a lot of things. You can just press here on the color mix and you can play around with the hue, saturation, and luminance of each individual color, but I'm just gonna keep them how they are. What I'm gonna do is just add some temperature to it, just to make it look warmer. It was actually a warm day at the beach, and it was pretty sunny out. It might be a little bit too much, and I want to create that feeling of you there in the beach, just looking at this guy drag this heavy thing in the middle of the day with the sun hitting his back. So yeah, that's it. I also would like to add a little bit of clarity to this image, just to make it more punchier. So, and you can just play around with these settings, and you can see what it does. So if you go, that might be way too much, you see, so I'm just pull back a little bit, makes it a bit punchier, and add some vignetting because it pulls you in more towards the subject. And yeah, there we go. That's your image how it was before, and after some edits and some magic, you have a way more punchier image that catches your eyes' attention. All right, thanks for watching.